So friends, it's no surprise that the gratuitous cruelty of the Trump administration continues. But the good news? Federal judges continue to issue orders designed to put a stop to Trump's cruelty. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friend, this particular story, this legal development, hasn't gotten much attention. It doesn't involve Trump vindictively prosecuting his perceived enemies. It doesn't involve Trump ordering the murder of human beings in international waters. It doesn't even involve Trump's unlawful withholding of SNAP, food assistance benefits to make children go hungry. No, this story involves Trump's gratuitous cruelty toward folks who are hard of hearing or deaf, folks who need a sign language interpreter to help them know what their government is up to. Let's start with the new reporting. This from NPR. Headline: Judge orders White House to use American Sign Language interpreters at briefings. And that article begins, a federal judge is ordering the White House to immediately begin providing American Sign Language, ASL, interpretation at its press briefings when President Trump or Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt are speaking. This quote from the judge, quote, White House press briefings engage the American people on important issues affecting their daily lives. In recent months, war, the economy, and health care, and in recent years, a global pandemic. U.S. District Judge Amir Ali wrote in issuing a preliminary injunction on Tuesday, quote, the exclusion of deaf Americans from that programming, in addition to likely violating the Rehabilitation Act, is clear and present harm that the court cannot meaningfully remedy after the fact. The White House stopped using live ASL interpreters at briefings and other public events when President Trump began his second term in January, because of course they did. Without explanation, they just stopped. They deprived the deaf and hard of hearing community from being informed regarding what Trump or Caroline Leavitt was peddling to the American people. Put a pin in that. All my editorial edition, by the way. The lawsuit alleges the White House's failure to provide ASL violates Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. The law prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities in programs conducted by the federal government. The suit also claims the White House is in violation of the First and Fifth Amendments, which protect free speech and provide for due process, respectively. NAD interim CEO Bobby Beth Scoggins said in a statement to NPR Wednesday that the organization is pleased that deaf and hard of hearing Americans will soon regain access to important information from the government. Now, friends, you might be asking yourself, well, can't they just do closed captioning? Can't they just run across the bottom of the screen in English what Trump and Leavitt are saying? And that's a logical question, and it's a question that is likely to be asked by somebody who isn't deaf, doesn't struggle with significant hearing loss, such that they need an American Sign Language interpreter to understand what's going on, as this article points out. Quote, American Sign Language and accurate captioning are both essential to ensuring full and equal access to information, Scoggins said. ASL and English are distinct languages, and captions alone cannot meet the needs of everyone in our community. The court's ruling affirms what we have long known. Equal access to information from the White House is not optional. We deserve the same timely, direct access to White House briefings as everyone else. Judge Ali's order specifies that the ASL interpretation must be visible and signed by a qualified interpreter. He was not persuaded by the White House arguments that it does provide closed captioning. This quote from the judge, quote, "The defendants," meaning Trump, "correctly note that the plaintiffs are entitled only to reasonable accommodation, but it is not reasonable. Indeed, it can hardly be called an accommodation at all to transcribe press briefings into a language that the plaintiff in the case, Ford, and many NAD members do not know," Judge Ali said in the opinion. The judge is referring to Plaintiff Derek Ford of Anderson, Indiana. Matthew Bond of Germantown, Maryland, is also a plaintiff in the case. According to the NAD, hundreds of thousands of people in the U.S. communicate mainly in ASL, and many deaf and hard of hearing people do not know English. ASL has its own vocabulary and grammar that is different from English. So the judge ordered the Trump administration to restore those sign language services. Why did the Trump administration yank those services in the first place? I don't know. Was it maybe to keep the deaf and hard of hearing community uninformed? Was it to keep people struggling, much as the Trump administration seems to want to keep kids hungry, keep people poor, keep people divided, keep people enraged, keep people fearful, drive them into despondency, desperation, depression, keep them down, keep a knee on their neck? Because, that makes them much easier to control. Well, friends, we will not be depressed. We will not be despondent. We will not stay down. We will rise up. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.